Welcome, brother and sister Green. As you may have gathered, I already introduced you as being busy in the Romanian field in Seattle. But there were some opportunities coming your way as to extend your ministry, because I already think when you are learning a different language, then you already do your utmost. But what further opportunities came your way?
Well, we were presented with the opportunity to share in the work at Warwick.
So that's the new headquarters in Warwick. Dus dat is duidelijk, hè? Ze kregen de uitnodiging om op Warwick te gaan bouwen. But Shauna, it was a kind of two-stage assignment. First, maybe you can explain.
So our first assignment at Warwick was for 6 weeks, and Chandler and I got to go last February, and it was when the snowstorms were very bad, so it was extremely cold. The lake had frozen outside of the property, so when you walked to the residences, the wind would whip off it, and all you could see was eyeballs. Yeah. And the buildings were all open. They didn't have anything blocking the wind. It was just tarps.
It was quite a challenge, I guess.
Yes.
Dus jullie hebben misschien in de gaten, ze zouden voor 6 weken gaan, maar het was vreselijk koud. I understood there was even a period of 2 weeks that you could not work at all during the 6-week period. Was that right?
About 3 Mondays in a row, the snow was so deep that they wouldn't allow anyone to travel. So we just stayed in the hotel rooms.
Okay, so erg was it. But I had the impression you wanted to stay longer than 6 weeks. And how did you go about?
Well, Shauna had heard an experience from another brother who had done a similar form of work in the organization, and he had moved forward before the blessing, meaning he did he quit his job? What did he do?
So I worked with our overseer's wife, and she had told us their experience about how they wanted to stay at Warwick as well, but they had to take care of things back home. So they decided to say a prayer to Jehovah and to give notice that they would be moving before they had an assignment. Okay. So once they prayed, a few days later, they got us an assignment at Warwick. Okay. So I told Chandler this.
I have to translate it first. Yeah. Ja, ze wilden natuurlijk wel langer blijven dan 6 weken. En ja, dan ga je je afvragen van wat moet je doen. Maar de zus die had dus gehoord van dat andere mensen die dat ook van plan waren langer te blijven, dat ze eerst hun huur opzeiden, nog voordat ze dus de uitnodiging kregen om te mogen blijven. And it worked that way, didn't it? They got their extension. Yeah. So you were taught that's the way to go about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So one day, and over we were doing late shifts, extra hours at the end of the workday, and I was thinking, it was bouncing around in my head, and I said, this is good. So I called up Shauna and asked her if we should now call our landlord and tell him we want to break our lease and get out of it early, even though the lease was a very good deal.
Ja. Dus hij belde zijn vrouw om maar te zeggen van nou ja, laten we dan de huur maar alvast opzeggen. Terwijl ze op zich in een hele aantrekkelijke huursituatie zaten. And you did not
we did not yet have an extension.
But you were thinking.
Well, we were thinking if we step forward, we knew how Jehovah blessed the efforts of this other brother who made the move first. So we said we should just put ourselves in a position to be able to come back, even though we didn't know when we were going to be back or what was going to happen.
What was going to happen?
So this was 2 weeks before our 6-week assignment was up, and we thought before we leave Warwick we would have an extension.
Because you took the necessary steps.
Because we were showing Jehovah we wanted the blessing.
Yeah.
So when we got home, when we left, we didn't have an extension. So when we got home, all the brothers and sisters knew that we were moving, but we didn't know where.
Okay. Dus huur opgezegd, niet uitgenodigd worden om langer te blijven, terug naar huis. How many miles, by the way?
Let me see. It's about a 24-hour, 28-hour drive from New York
Yeah.
to
Oh,
Seattle.
that's when we flew though.
Ja,
Yeah, but we flew this time.
Yeah.
The next time.
oké. Maar als je begrijpt waar ze woonden, Seattle is aan de Pacific Coast. En het bouwprogramma is New York State. Zo, ja, je moet helemaal dwars door Amerika. Dus terug naar huis.
Yep.
But then, what happened?
Well, then as we were getting things ready to move, we didn't know whether we're going to go back. Shortly before the end of the week, about the time where our landlord said, you know, you have to be out, we had sold everything. We sold all our furniture, all of our goods. All we had was our car and our clothes.
Okay.
And about the day before, we were moving out, we got a phone call from Warwick saying that they were going to extend us.
Oké, je understand. En dus alles verkocht, alles op marktplaats gezet. Ja, I'm just explaining about the way to sell your personal belongings. Yeah, we have a Dutch equivalent. Maar dan uiteindelijk toch de uitnodiging krijgen om weer op Warwick te mogen werken. 6 months was originally.
Yeah. So they said you could be extended for actually a 3-month assignment.
Yeah.
And when we got out there, we worked the 3 months, and then we were looking for an extension for another 3. But something happened.
Something happened, yeah. I first like to ask you, because when you think working together with all the brothers and sisters and with all the dedicated people there, this must be a very joyous situation. Yet, on the other hand, what are your personal experiences?
You go through ups and downs.
Okay.
The brothers and sisters, they came from all over the country. They had sold so much. They've sold their businesses. They've closed up their homes. They never thought they would have an opportunity to be a Bethelite. The morning worship was amazing. But the schedule for me and some of the others, it was a lot. I mean, it really challenged you. Our bus picked us up at 5:30 in the morning, and we got home at 7 at night. And then you have the family night, watched our lesson on Monday, and then Tuesday night we had meeting. So it was praying a lot. I mean, the governing body recognized it was a lot because they eventually gave sisters a day off a month just for whatever we wanted.
Okay, thank you. Dus het was gewoon enorm hard werk. Aan de ene kant dus een enorme ervaring, maar heel hard werken. 4:30 dat de bus klaar stond en dat ze pas avonds om 7 uur daar waren. Dus je kunt niet zeggen van easy going. But what about tennis? You tennised a lot, didn't you?
Okay, so what happened was in the first month, they paired up brothers and sisters together, but the work was a lot of rough work. So the sisters were not permitted to do this particular job, which is hammer drilling. It's a drill, you drill above your head. And I was doing this for about a month straight, 5 days a week, about 10 hours a day, and I was paired up with a sister who couldn't do the drilling. So I would drill every day above my head about 8 hours a day. So I got tennis elbow and golf elbow in both elbows, so it's bursitis. And I didn't know how painful that would be. One night I woke up out of the middle of a sleep and I couldn't move my arms. So they gave me 3 work restrictions. I ignored them all. And then the very last one, they said, well, you're not listening. So they said it'd probably be best if I just went home.
Ja. Dus misschien heb je het in de gaten. De boer heeft eigenlijk gewoon boven de krachten gewerkt om de zusters te ontzien die eigenlijk hetzelfde werk zouden moeten doen, maar met zwaar materieel gewoon continu door blijven gaan. En dus na 6 maanden was het einde oefening, omdat twee tennisarmen, zeg maar. It taught you a lesson, didn't it?
Yeah, it taught me that, I could have asked one of the younger brothers to take that drill, but I had an issue with pride, and Jehovah obviously revealed to me I had an issue with modesty. where I come from the school of work harder, and I was doing it for Jehovah, so I worked harder, but Jehovah never wants you to work at the expense of your health.
Okay. Now I can imagine that, of vertalend even talen, een broeder heeft toch wel nederigheid geleerd daardoor, dat Jehovah niet van je verwacht dat je boven je krachten gaat werken. I can imagine that it might have left you pretty downhearted after this period. Yet, what other doors opened for you?
So when he said, we kept thinking maybe things would turn around. You know, there was still a glimmer of hope that maybe we'll stay, because we did sell everything. We put everything in that one particular avenue of service. But the one thing that we were with a lot of brothers and sisters who served where the need is greater. We met friends that served in Guyana, served in Puerto Rico, in all Belize, and they really encouraged us, hey, could you do another avenue of service? How about serving where the need is greater? So then that's when we thought, oh, maybe another door is opening. So that's when we prayed to Jehovah and put that plan into place.
Ja, dus je bent helemaal gefocust op werken daar, op Warwick. Ja, dus het is heel vervelend als dat dan uiteindelijk niet meer gebeurt. Maar broeder en zuster hebben heel veel contacten gehad met andere broeders en zusters die dienen waar de behoefte groter is. Dus veel gesprekken daarmee gehad. So, the end result, what will you do? You already had 3 years experience with the Romanian language, but not to such an extent that you say, okay, I'm fluent in Romanian. Yet, what are your plans for the future?
Well, as soon as we drove